Ever wonder if bike packing on your electric bike was a good idea?
I didn't think we could make it.
I feel pretty good about it.
Well, we'll take you on a ride to see if it's possible.
Let's go.
Day 37.
Day 37, aka mile
6.
8.5
Oh.
of our gravel ride that we're doing, and we finally hit gravel.
We're almost halfway there.
We are halfway there, and definitely it was a lot faster on these e-gravel bikes compared to a regular bike. I know from experience.
Full turbo either.
Yeah, loaded down, we wouldn't have been going as fast as we were. We were averaging like 14.
Yeah, 14,
Pretty good.
15. What would you say you averaged on an analog?
It would be 12,
12?
10 to 12, but you know, getting a couple more miles per hour was pretty great.
Yeah.
Cool, well, let's hit the dirt, see how these bikes feel. It's a beautiful evening, we lucked out. And the bikes handle pretty good on the gravel.
Yeah, you got
So
some
far.
nice,
Well, not the gravel, we did the concrete.
You got some nice knobby tires too.
Yeah, the concrete. Now we're on the gravel, so yeah, the handle on the gravel.
You're tubeless with a knobbier tire.
Yep,
I'm tubed
with a
with a
skinnier,
more generic tire.
just an all-road tire.
Yeah, but these D1s, they got puncture protection, pretty decent tread pattern. Like, I know when I first tested this bike out of the box, I went for a ride on some slick terrain, and unless I was grabbing a handful of brake on a downhill, wet, covered leaf ground, you know, it was fine.
Yeah, I'm stoked to have a little bit knobbier tires. This is definitely a multi-use road, so we've got a lot of braking bumps happening already. That'll put a little wear on your hands. Gotta kind of float your hands a little bit so you're not gripping, using all your grip strength. All right, our first little hill.
I went to her.
You went to her?
Yeah, why not? I could see the top.
Okay.
It's just to keep the same speed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go faster.
Yeah, we started late. A few hiccups in the day, but still got some daylight. But that's what's good about having an e-bike is you can get a little bit of a help to get you out quicker to where you need to go. So we left at like what you would leave at midweek, right after work, 5 p.m. So if you have your stuff ready to go, leave at 5 p.m., you could be out camping by sundown.
My machine was the 56 centimeter RLT E9 RDO from Niner. I have the Blackburn outpost bags to carry all my gear. On my controls, I have a Garmin Edge, a nice light from Lezyne, and of course, the controller for the Bosch unit. I opted for keeping my SPD pedals on there and rode the G1 tires from Schwalbe that are spec'd for this bike when you buy it. Being a quick overnight trip, I brought the essentials, a hammock, sleeping bag, enough food for a couple meals, and a lot of camera gear.
I'm riding the 53 centimeter Niner RLT E9 RDO. I have this packed with, to me, tried and true, really tested Ortlieb bags. Right now I'm just running the tail pack and the bar bag. I've got these Niner bags installed on here, put some food in those ones, and essentially I brought a sleeping bag, my hammock, swim trunks, and a towel, and food just for an overnight ride. I also have this Lezyne handbag right here, just right on the handlebars, just to hold my water. Also, because we had to bring camera gear, I carried my backpack and might as well bring a lot of water. So I carried 3 liters of water in that backpack. I chose to ride flat pedals because I've never done that on a long gravel ride. Just wanted to see how it was. The tires on this bike are upgraded from the stock ones with the Schwalbe G1 Ultrabite TLE tires. Got our first fork in the road. Dustin is using his Garmin computer.
It says straight.
He pre-routed it. We're gonna go straight. I hope that's right, because I'm ready to jump in some water. Yeah, a lot of bumps still. Definitely a lot of cars that go back here, it seems like. It's nicer if you stay on the side of the road. That's for sure. Oh, we got to a little downhill, more of an opening. So we saw we were somewhat using our battery a decent amount. We turned it off. We can coast and enjoy this a little bit. It's pretty. Well, we didn't keep the camera on the whole time because we were in a rush to make it to our destination, but we finally gotten close, and it is beautiful back here. It's been a bumpy ride too, so might not be the most entertaining thing to watch us struggle through some sand and bumps, but so far we've done it. We're like 18 miles in, and I think we're getting close to our destination. We've only seen 2 other UTVs out here and nothing else. It's pretty cool to come back and really not see any people. Third try. We found a spot near an awesome lake. I'm gonna roll right up to it. That is pretty sweet. There's even some trees for us to throw up our hammocks. What do you think, Dustin? We're a little off track from what we went for, but we made it.
19.1 miles.
Hey, that's pretty solid. But I definitely was a little worried, had some battery anxiety. I still have a little bit of range anxiety.
I guess you just haven't, have you ridden an e-bike and killed one yet? Any variation?
Yeah, it's not fun.
You have?
Yeah. Because then it just powers you down and
When'd you
you're
do
pedaling the
that?
whole bike. It's a couple times, it's not fun.
Yeah.
But, all right, well, it's getting dark. We gotta set up our site. We made it to a lake. It wasn't the first lake that we were trying to get to. I think it was our 3rd try, but we finally found one. Got an awesome spot. 20 miles in, we are 40 feet from the lake. I got our hammocks all set up. We're gonna go for a little swim. How's that feel?
Dude, that was deep. Oh my gosh. That just freaked me out.
Dustin got scared because he couldn't touch the ground.
I didn't know if it was a lava tube. It sucked me in.
This is ridiculously beautiful, actually. This is super beautiful. Woke up to an awesome morning in our hammocks right next to the lake. Got our coffee going. How'd you sleep, Dustin?
When I slept, it was great.
It was a little windy.
It was a little windy, a little flappy.
Yeah, that's the risk with the hammock when you sleep somewhere with a great view and not the best exposure. But bikes are good, coffee's good, views are good. Gonna make some breakfast and hit the road and get back towards town.
Yeah. What are you making there, bud?
Gotta make breakfast. We got a 20-mile ride back into town. So, brought my little oatmeal packet. Got the jet boil. I like to make the oatmeal in here. Then I don't have to wash any dishes, just trash. These are lined with like rubber, so, not rubber, plastic. So it totally works. Little trip tip, save you some weight when you're bike packing. Just a good old pack of oatmeal. Can't forget your spork. Another crucial part to camping and bike packing.
It's pretty purple you got there.
Yep, gotta have the bright ones. If I had my coffee mug, you would see that it matches my spork.
This Blackburn Outpost series stuff, it's very nice, very intuitive, held everything I needed, minus the camera gear, of course. But yeah, it comes with a little dry bag, so you don't need your stuff sack for your sleeping bag. You just throw it in there and cinch you down.
Hey Dustin, have you ridden with clips before?
There's no dirt.
Hey,
It just
Dustin.
sank. The bike sank.
You're not supposed to ride your bike like that.
The bike sank.
It all happens to us every now and then. But I guess that's I'm riding flats, and I don't have to do that.
The bike sank. I'm gonna get.
Cool, let's start our day now.
You ready? Gosh.
There
Oh,
he goes.
My seat turned.
Oh no, his seat, oh no. All right, off to our real start riding bikes for the day. One little
Not
mishap,
clipped in.
that's all it takes.
No clip.
But yeah, we are 20 miles back from where we started, so that's 20 miles back home to where the car is. We are on Eco. My computer says 27 miles left on this battery. Got a little range anxiety. How about you?
Not stressed at all.
Dustin's not stressed.
24 miles, and we did 20, mostly uphill.
So we'll see. We do have less uphill going back,
We shaved a few pounds.
and we kind of know where we're going, so we can cruise a little better.
And hopefully the sun's not blinding us.
And-
Downhills.
Yeah, I hope we make it back. So this section we climbed up yesterday, pretty loose. There's definitely some soft spots in the gravel, and it's I have these knobbier tires which helped me, and I know Dustin was slipping a little bit more with his not so knobby tires. So that is a benefit of the knobby tires on gravel like this. Get a little more traction, especially when you're having that boost from the motor. It could slip if it kind of just gives that instant power. But keeping it in a lower mode, it won't spin that rear wheel that much, and that helps you hold some traction. Yeah, on the flats with a little decline, we're hitting 20 miles an hour and cruising, and this road doesn't have as many brake bumps as those skinnier roads we were on. And this is, I think, where the bike thrives. You can go fast, make up some time from what you lost on some of those climbs with having all this weight. Well, we got 5 miles left on the gravel and taking a little break to get a snack. This little snack pouch is pretty sweet on the top tube. For me, I'm gonna have an untapped maple syrup. What are you having?
There's some gummies, caffeine, energy chews.
And electrolytes, which are good.
Pretty big fan of electrolytes.
Yeah, but you know, breakfast time, maple syrup, into it. Made it up that incline I was sort of dreading after going down it yesterday, because we're doing just an out and back, and now we're cruising on these mellow downhill on this big road. We have our bikes off because we can just cruise downhill. And this bike rolls pretty well with no battery on. We don't need the motor, and we're going 23 miles an hour. And we want to save all the battery for when we get on the road or the highway, so we can power it back to lunch, because I could use a real meal right now. What about you, Dustin? Yeah, he's going for burrito again. I'll be getting something tasty. After eating dehydrated food and things from a package, feels good to eat real food when you get back to civilization. But yeah, still have my whole bike off, going 22. What are you, and I think we're gonna, 24, we're gonna get back to the highway quick. Well, we're somewhat towards the end of our gravel, and just wanted to talk to you guys, let you know how we felt. Dustin's feeling good. He wishes he had knobbier tires.
Yeah.
I think the tire spec on mine was really good for this.
Yeah, just the moon dust, the G1s, and this tread pattern they're not the best. They do great on this, but when it gets soft and silty, they just mow through it.
Yeah, we'll do a little, show you some of the tires, but this has just like not a crazy mountain bike tread, but definitely does really well when it gets a little looser. They can dig in there. I probably lose a little bit of efficiency on the road, but I'll take that loss. compared to losing some grip in the dirt. But yeah,
Nice to ride a little more relaxed right now.
a little more relaxed, still bumpy from some rain ruts and car ruts.
All those wheelies out here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning. Very lucky to be able to go do this, that's for sure. Look at this road. Back on the concrete, and this is so smooth. It's like riding on a cloud compared to riding on that gravel road. No hands, full bar bags, everything, saddlebags.
Those tires don't roll as nice.
I don't roll as fast as Dustin because I have knobs.
I got extra gravity, you know?
He weighs a little more, he's got extra gravity, but still rolling downhill. 24 miles, 25 miles an hour. And this really feels like riding on a cloud. I am into this to be a nice finisher for a nice ride. We'll see how far we can go. That'll save us for when we get to any hill. Definitely just gonna maybe even go into sport mode to get up that hill. Why not? We only got a couple miles into town.
I added 2 miles of range.
All right, I'm pedaling.
Keeping that speed up.
Now, with some pedal power, got a little flatter, sustaining 27 miles an hour, which is awesome. This feels so fast compared to what we were just doing. And we're at 28, which is the max the motor is gonna take us. And that's cool. We were going about 16 miles per hour on the way up yesterday, but we're also staying a little conservative. I'm in tour mode.
Eco, baby.
Oh wait, let's see. Eco,
All right.
still going 27. And back to Coast Town. Yep, this is a good way to end a nice overnighter. Well, that totally worked out. We really made a fun overnight trip. We got 40 miles round trip, and not too much went wrong during this overnight adventure that we did after work hours.
Might have been one tumble.
Just a little tumble.
Yeah.
You know, but I was a little bit worried about range the whole time. I kept it in eco just because I wasn't aware of the range of this bike, and I didn't want to be stranded out there with a heavier bike because it has the battery loaded down with all the stuff. This guy over here caught his bike again, but didn't really have any worry about range. What did you do the whole time with your battery?
I kept it in eco for like 90%. I was paying attention to the range, but I wasn't stressed out about it. I know that it's constantly evolving depending on how you ride, which is great. I really am a big fan of the Bosch system. But I mean, honestly, if you're wondering, and we said in the beginning, can you do it? Yes, of course you can do it. You might kill a battery, but if you pay attention to your range, you know your route, we were just able to do it faster than an analog bike and have more fun.
Yeah, totally. I've done plenty of bike packing, put in thousands of miles on an analog bike with basically the same setup. And just from experience, I know some of the hills that we were going up, we were definitely going like 40% faster up those hills in eco mode on a heavier bike. So really having this motor just helped you cruise along a lot faster. It would have taken for sure an hour longer on an analog bike.
Absolutely. And I mean, my biggest hesitation as opposed to battery range was the tire selection. A personal private bike, I would have run something more aggressive, which is what Samson got to enjoy, but these tires did great. You have to be more strategic on your line choice, pay attention to where those rocks are and such, especially with the weight. You are risking it, but Schwalbe makes a great tire. It is puncture resistant, so they held up, they did great, and we hit some pretty aggressive stuff as you saw in the videos.
Yeah, definitely for more dirt stuff, I would opt for this knobbier tire because that one's great. Like you were going way faster on the road, on the concrete than I was. But when I went in the dirt, I was going faster because I had more tread and I could have more traction. I wasn't slipping down in those sandy sections. Dustin had a little issue, like, you know, in those deep silty sections with that skinnier, less knobby tire, losing traction. Also with the weight, that doesn't help. But these tires really helped that for sure. I was skeptical to see if we could even do this, adding the weight to this bike with the battery range, but it totally worked and I had so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing any of these trips on an electric bike, you have to be mindful of the range of your battery. These have 500 watt-hour batteries. We knew the range, we were keeping our eyes on it the entire ride, and because of that, we have battery left, and we were able to finish out the last few miles of the ride in the full luxury of turbo and just relax, and that's a great way to end a really good time.
Yeah, for sure. Like going from the dirt, having that anxiety, to seeing where we got to the concrete, I put that thing in turbo mode and we made it back to town, I think 4 times quicker back than we came out of town, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to try this on like a multi-night trip. Would have to maybe opt out on carrying the camera backpack, but instead of that, maybe bring a smaller bag, bring the charger with me, plan it out to have a campground that has somewhere I can charge the bike overnight, and that would be super fun.
And if you are planning to do this with friends, it's always better with more people around, but you could do it by yourself. We're on the same bikes. If we were to go again, we could bring one charger, share it between us, or if we don't have the luxury being able to plug in for that long, then we would just have to remember to bring both chargers, so that way we could both plug in for the shorter amount of time.
Totally. And it was super fun being able to have these, same bikes, but slightly different spec. We had different bags. He had different bags than I did, and it's just cool to see the difference in how those are to utilize this bike.
When considering bikepacking on an electric bike though, for myself, I would be an advocate for doing it on a machine like this one. A electric gravel bike. Niner was very intentional to have extra bosses everywhere. The frame, everything was designed for this in mind. Some bikes are for performance or for other utility reasons, and they don't have that in the engineering. Not to say they can't do it, but having it happen from the manufacturer helps get things like your top tube bag just mounted on there without having to use straps, and having the tire clearance for big tires. It really is, in my opinion, the better way to go is just starting out on the machine that was designed for it. Obviously, an electric gravel bike is a great machine in general. Not all of you have that, but if you're looking, this is definitely a good way to go.
If you have any questions on bikepacking in general, not just on electric bikes, leave a comment below. I've got a few thousand miles of experience in me, so this really piqued my interest in what is capable on an electric bike, and I want to do more of it.
Be sure to click subscribe. We had a lot of fun doing this, and we want to continue to do this more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.